Coming up, a city councilman claims there is a hostile takeover of government in Wilmington. Our interview with Samuel Guy next. Welcome to the Delaware Way. I'm Larry Menti. In facing Wilmington's problems, everything old is new again. Let me explain that. A lot of new faces on city council and new people in the administration. But one man has come back to city council because he believes he was needed. Councilman Samuel Guy just won election. Congratulations, and thank you so much for being here. Why did you decide to come back?
Yes, as I was looking at the political landscape, and I was looking at all the people who were running, and I looked at it and I said, you know, there's going to really be a need for there to be somebody on that council who really has a good understanding of what it means to be a council person, and also has a good understanding of what it means to run the executive side of a government, to have been part of that. And so I said,
because you were in Newcastle County as part of the county government.
Yes, for 4 years, helping Tom Gordon run the county government. So I said to myself, I said, you know, this isn't a time right now for people to be on the sidelines that need to be on the field as a participant helping to make things better. So that's why I decided to go ahead and run at large.
And in the beginning of this new council, who has some experienced members and a new administration, it seems like, in the beginning at least, everybody's been getting along. That wasn't the case in the last decade.
The objective is dealing with good public policy, good fiscal management, and programs and policies.
But working
in the
together is
interest of the
important
people.
in that, right?
It's important to do that, but some people define working together as if there's a group who's trying to do the wrong thing, then everybody needs to follow them in doing the wrong thing. So working together is not in and of itself the outcome. It's a method to reach an outcome, but sometimes you got to fight too sometimes.
Coalescing, cooperating is a good thing. Acquiescing isn't necessarily a good thing, especially if what you're acquiescing to is bad, bad policy.
There you go.
So let's talk about policy. The Wilmington mayor has put forward his budget. Is it a good one?
Because I've been on the executive side, what I'm doing is I'm playing fair. So he just announced it. And so I'm being open-minded to receive the presentations before reaching a whole bunch of conclusions. So that's where I am right now.
Well, let's talk about a couple of things, and let's see if you can comment on this. 7.5% increase in the property tax, that's a good thing or a bad thing?
It's not that simple. Everything is all in the context. So I need to,
well, it's that simple if you're a homeowner.
It's too early for me to just have a carte blanche, yes or no, something's good or bad.
Well, some things that look bad, at least on the surface, is when you have vacancies, when you have vacancies in the police department and the fire department, and you come out and say we're not going to fill them, especially when you have a city that has an image problem when it comes to crime.
The budget process, they just handed us their plan. I'm a fair guy. I want to hear his plan before I start trying to kill his plan.
And I'm not saying to kill it, but one of the things you did do early is you came in and said the city is losing too much money in lawsuits.
The members of council do not get briefings or information as to the money that's leaking out through lawsuits and risk management. County council, they get monthly reports. They've received them since 2004. I'm familiar with that. And I said, well, since we don't have a judiciary committee, let's put in legislation so that we get monthly reports so that we can do our due diligence and know what money's leaking out, because you don't see that money as it
Now that seems completely reasonable, and yet it sounds like you were blocked on that request.
We have a kind of a strange council situation, because sometimes there's factors that don't have anything to do with the substance that make some people want to kill other people's ideas.
You got to explain that.
It's politics, but it's a different kind of politics. I'm trained as to how you properly run a government. But having also been on the legislative side, I also have an understanding of what legislators should want to know. What happens is sometimes you get in these battles where some of the people who are legislators don't want all of the legislators to know something that they might know.
So somebody's hiding something?
Essentially, they want to hide the information, and there's a crew who chair a committee. Just picture this. It's a legislation about notifying council about the legal affairs of the city. So what the president of council did is said, well, I'm going to refer this legislation to a chair called the Economic Development and Finance Committee. It has nothing to do with legal affairs.
And it was transferred just to kill it?
Yeah, so that they could hold it and try to kill it. But every day they hold it, the 5 people who are holding it, the public's looking at them as to what's wrong with them. They're not looking at me crazy as to what I'm proposing, because what I'm proposing, the county has it.
Oh,
You're
no, it's
supposed to
reasonable.
have it. Yeah.
It sounds reasonable. If you're going to do a budget and if you're going to figure out what money's coming in and coming out, you should be able to see all that money. I get that. We're running out of time, and I want to get to one more topic, and that is the idea of restructuring city council, the idea that there may be too many city councilmen. What do you think of that?
Well, it's funny because the 5 people who are trying to hold the legislation up for legal knowledge by everybody, they're basically the group of people who want to get rid of half the council so that they can double their salaries. That's what this is about, because they're part of a group who wants to be in control, and they think they're in control. So now they want to try to minimize, cut the size in half, double their salaries, because basically they don't care about what any of the other people think.
Well,
that's what's going on.
Now you're making this accusation. Who are these people?
I've written it. It's on my Facebook. You got
So you'll see
President
all the names?
Sabraz, Bud Friel, Cyril Adams was part of that, holding it up. And you have Oliver, Xanthia Oliver, and Namdi Chikocha. It's on my Facebook. I don't mix words. People are doing what they're doing, and they're not doing it for the benefit of the people of Wilmington. The people of Wilmington, when I go talk to them, they can't understand why folks would block us knowing about the legal affairs. Well, I know why people would want to block that, and it's not in the public interest. In fact, when people don't know who's supposed to know, we're like a board of directors for a corporation or a nonprofit.
But what you're talking about is an unfriendly takeover of government.
That's what basically is going on right now, but it's not going to last long, because I'm saying my expertise, I'm a change agent. And if you're doing wrong, I'm going to put so much right in front of you that at some point in time, you're going to stop doing wrong.
Thank you, sir, for coming in. I'm sure we'll talk to you again. Councilman Samuel Guy from Wilmington City Council. When we come back, a rally to protect immigrants in Delaware. We'll hear from the ACLU when the Delaware Way continues.